The Cognizant Classic Best Bets edition of the Stephie Smalls Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Get the SGPN app free in your app store. It has all of our picks and podcasts in one easy-to-access app. Let's yap.
Stephie turns balls, betting it all on the power bottom falls top drop the football. Like hopes they've been teasing, they're missing the fall season. ACL twisted, bank account freezing, but Smalls cut the shots like some more co-reading. Leaderboard rising while the slot machine's ringing. She's slinging player stats like Nostradamus. $100 bills raining down upon us.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Golf, that's all we're talking now on the podcast for the foreseeable future. We have a first timer on the show. Joining us today is Danny Burke, sports analyst with Your Betting News. You guys are very familiar with a bunch of the guys from Your Betting News, so that's not a surprise to anyone. How are you?
I'm doing good, Stephie. Appreciate you having me on. Excited to talk some golf with you, and glad to hear you're getting into the space a bit more. It seems like a lot of people, both fans and bettors, are getting more enthused with the links, whether it's betting or just obviously playing it from the COVID days. But excited to discuss it more with you. Thanks for having me on.
It's honestly really fun to watch, like even Twitter and like kind of, I don't want to say casuals, but like watching everyone start to love golf together and then them finding out the lore of like each player that maybe we already know is very, very, very fun experience on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And especially like it's perfect because you get the people who are looking for something to get interested with during the Thursday, Friday, middle of the day pack. And then Sunday, you're getting the full on sweat and you're just getting random Joe Schmo sweating out some long shots, top 20s, whatever it may be. So you're just getting a whole concoction of entertainment across all the social platforms. So no, I'm right there with you. It's certainly fun to sweat out throughout the weekend.
Absolutely. Cognizant, also known as Honda, depending on when you start watching golf. I call it the big C now. But what did you look for starting out, like looking at this week, PGA National, a lot of players this is like a natural bye week. We're in between two signature events. No surprise. This is a very it's an icky field. I'm not going to pretend like it's not. We've seen top tier ball strikers with like proven short game on Bermuda contend at this event. What were you looking for when you started handicapping this tournament?
Yeah, you bring up a lot of excellent points. It's certainly not one of the premier events throughout the course of this season. And it used to be highly coveted. I mean, it was a really challenging venue, but now they've made it a lot easier, turning it from a par 70 into a par 71. Hole number 10 went from a par 4 to a par 5. That, along with also making it rye-seeded fairways and roughs to pair alongside the Bermuda greens, it's just made it a lot easier for these golfers, which it's kind of annoying in a sense because you feel like you're not getting the best out of them, right? But simultaneously, it opens up the doors for opportunities for longer shots and gets you a lot more value on some of these players. So those are a lot of things to keep in mind. I mean, I thought what was fascinating, which now we've had a couple years sample size. I mean, when they did some of these renovations in 2024, the average winning score was 10 under, and then it's jumped up to 18 under. So you've really seen a big leap there. You're getting a mix of guys off the tee, using drivers, not using drivers. So kind of mixed clubs there is something you want to look at going off the tee. Aside from that, it's just bogey avoidance, singular bogeys and then double bogeys. I mean, that's something you want to keep in mind when you're handicapping players this week. Certainly par 5 and par 4 birdie percentage. Your usual off the tee, like I said, approach shots, but specifically from about 150 to 200 yards out. And then naturally, because of the putting surface being Bermuda, that's something you want to keep in mind too. But definitely those approach shots from $150 to 200 yards. You want to land on these greens and give yourself the best opportunity possible. And it is a very water hazard laden type of venue too, one of the highest throughout the tour. So you got to get these accurate drivers and all of those played into account. Not as much necessarily course history like we have at a lot of venues, particularly because you saw this change the last couple of years. It is important, of course, to recognize it and look at what transpired the last two events. But those are some of the things that stood out the most for me this week.
And the course history is funny. And there's a guy that stands out immediately, and it's kind of his course is Shane Lowry. Number one in course history, if you're going to really like look at it over this time here, top 11 in his last 4. He's basically done everything but win. Do you have any interest in Lowry this week? I bet him last week, just a placement bet. I can't find a way to put him on my card, whether that's, I don't know if I end up getting it like a top 5 after round 1, maybe I'm going to regret it, but I can't do it. I can't do it this week.
I'm the same exact way. I mean, he adds up perfectly to the course fit here. There's no denying it. And he's going to be a popular bet because of that, and just because of the name brand recognition in a field where there's not so many of those guys for the casual bettors. But I'm with you. Pre-flop, I just don't want to get invested. You're not really getting as much value. And it's not to say that you should avoid some of the chalk. I think it's worth placing a bet or two on some of the favorites, but then also looking a lot more with these longer shots. But I like your approach. I think maybe after round 1 or as we're heading into the weekend, if you're still getting some plus money value, whether it's a top finishing position or he's in the hunt, but keeping it close with some other guys and you're getting a, feasible price, that's probably the best way to approach it, but not too eager to invest right now either.
Yeah. And I always say I'm just a glutton for pain when it comes to Shane Lowry. And it usually takes me a couple tournaments to just be like, we're not doing this year again. Like, it's like, you're not going to be hurting my feelings the way that you normally do. Before we look at some of our best bets, Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. Kalshi has a ton of trading options for your favorite sports. Besides sports, they have tons of other markets, including politics, entertainment, even the weather, which is not something I want to talk about right now. Kalshi, you can trade anything. Here's something I'm trading on Kalshi for the Cognizant to make the cut. $100. The payout will be $176 on Mr. Erik van Rooyen. I will talk about him in a little bit. I know he has not been playing some good golf, but we will take a look at him here. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Rhythm has been on a heater for college and NBA picks. But we get diggity down with golf over here. It's super easy to sign up, run predictions off the house model, or like I do, make your own and play with the sliders. Here are 2 rhythm predictions. They're short dog plays that my model on Rhythm did like. And the model's been good to us the last couple weeks. So we'll follow along here. These are both top 20s. It's Jordan Smith at plus 220. And then Val Mackey, I know I'm doing it again, guys. I'm well aware. Plus 270. Looking to go premium. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. Let's take a look at some best bets here. What's the first click? What's the first bet that you want to give out in your debut on the Stephie Smalls Show?
All right. So we talked about some of the chalk, and we might as well start there. And this is kind of the one golfer that I'm falling in line with a lot of the other handicappers out there, but it's really hard to ignore Ryan Gerard for this tournament.
Sure.
Plus 1850 was the best number I saw out there. Top 20 price isn't too appealing, but plus 110 if you want a bit more security alongside. That's what I usually like to do. Throw like a quarter unit on the outright, then full unit for the top finishing positions. But there has been a unique correlation with some of these golfers, how they performed at the Sony Open, and then how that coincides at the Cognizant Classic. And he finished second at the Sony Open. And certainly that's not, just me blindly looking at that and betting him, but that's a big factor in what stood out, along with the model that I made and what fits for this course specifically. 3rd in bogey avoidance, 4th in strokes gained approach. Strokes gained totally is 5th among this crop of contenders. Ball striking, I have him 7th, and this is all based the last 36 rounds and the course conditions that fit specifically to this venue. And then par 4 birdie or better percentage, I have him 14th. So course history, again, we're not taking it too much into account. But in 2023, right before the renovations, he did finish 4th. Tied 25th, though, last year post renovations. True strokes gain market plus 1.70 over the last 8 rounds. So that's one of my chalkier plays. Ryan Gerard at about plus 1850. I'll give out another here too, Stephie. Daniel Berger's like my other kind of chalkier play.
You said it.
Are you on Berger too?
I want to get there so bad. He makes so much sense. He rates out so well for me. I just feel like every time I bet him, he's another one that always hurts my feelings. But convince me why I need to be on him.
I'm the same way, and he's burned me already a couple times this year. But last year, he treated me well one time, and then I started getting comfortable with him, and it's just like he's got this appeal every time, and I'm going back to the well with him. So 35 to 1 about that outright price that I saw. top 20 plus 180. So Sony Open again, he finished tied 6th. He was born in Florida, grew up there, went to Florida State, so has a lot of familiarity with the territory. He is coming off a poor performance at the Genesis Invitational last week, but perhaps it gives him a bit more incentive going back to his home state. Again, with the model that I made, 3rd in strokes gained total. Off the tee, he was 6th, approach 16th, ball striking 5th, putting on Bermuda 20th. And he's got 30 rounds of experience here, and he was 25th last year. True strokes gain mark of 1.37. It's a little bit cheaper than what you'd want to get on Berger, but again, that's because the field's not too deep or heavy laden with some of these top tier names. But I'm ready to get burned at least one more time, Stephie, with Danny.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm willing to do it.
It's some of those guys you just got to keep going back for more, because the week that it does happen and you're not on it, it's so much more painful than every week that you are betting it and it doesn't hit. So we talked about like accurate driving, good Bermuda putting, bogey avoidance. There's a guy here, Mr. Aaron Rai, at 42-1. This feels like a goofy number for me. He is one of the 3 of the top 30 official world golf ranked players here playing this week. He's not going to get penalized here off the tee as much with these overseeded fairways, 70% accuracy off the tee. I had to do it. If you want to get a little bit of an action on it, his top 30 is a nice number at plus 110. I also like him top 10 after round 1. Top 20, I think it was T28 last week at Genesis. So I actually like the fit here for Aaron Ryan. I think 42 to 1 is that's just a misprice, I think, for him.
Much like you were cracking up with me selecting Daniel Berger, Aaron Rai is that guy even more so for me. Someone that I just am always looking at, especially because, I mean, you nailed it perfectly. I mean, he's very consistent off the tee, and his accuracy and his precision is very appealing each and every week, especially for a course like this where you need to have that precision. You need to avoid the water hazards and set yourself up. I didn't get there with Rai, but you mentioned after the first round, that's actually a bet that I would be interested in making with him, because that's what happens a lot of times with Rye. You get this spark immediately, and then he kind of tails off. So if you are going to get invested, I like that approach a lot with Aaron Rye.
And another guy that does the same thing with the spark in the beginning and then falls off is Mr. Sam Ryder. I also like his top 10 after round 1 at plus 800, his top 40 at plus 140. There's 2 players ranked inside the top 10 this season in both strokes gained, approach, and putting. Bridgerman is 1. The other is Ryder. Ryder actually leads Bridgerman by 2 spots in both of them. He's currently 3rd in iron play and 5th in putting. He's native to Florida. We know he loves it here. We also know he loves round 1. And guess what? That's all I'm asking for. And then, you can fall off and get the top 40 plus 140. I like it. He's 5 for 5, making the cut with 2 top 10s here and 3 top 25s. I just like what Ryder's doing. I like the position he's in. I like the fit. And we'll see how it goes. But the top 10 after round 1, if he finished first round leader, I wouldn't be shocked.
I like this play a lot. I'll tell you, my first out for the betting card, at least tonight. Now, I may add some more tomorrow. I probably will.
Yes, that's what I usually do. This is like the let's get our toes wet.
Right. You're just teasing a little bit. Sam Ryder was my first out for at least tonight. Again, he may make the official card tomorrow when I kind of do my full breakdown for betting news, but I had him circled as well. I love that angle. A lot of experience at this course. Florida guy in his own right. Again, just wasn't necessarily someone I was as hyped initially. I'm going to, kind of just dissect the handicap a bit more tomorrow, but I definitely was looking at Sam Ryder as well. I like that take.
Awesome. Love it. Why don't you give me another bet here before I do a couple more ad reads to chop things up.
All right. Let's look at Rico Hoey at
Rico
top 20 plus 225. I have him about 5th in my overall rankings right now for this tournament. 1st in strokes gained off the tee for what I built, 1st in approach and ball striking, 4th in proximity for those approach shots, 150 to 200 yards. His putter is concerning. The flat stick is going to be a bit scary, but if he can at least be somewhat competent, especially those first 2 days, get himself inside the cut and then start competing once we get to Sunday, at the very least, we should be sweating out the top 20 finish here at a plus 225 price. He's got okay history here. I mean, 25th last year. In 2024, he tied 56. So a little bit of improvement. Did okay at the waste management, tied 24th. So his recent form isn't, it's not outstanding, but it's not overly concerning. So Rico Hoey, someone who very much showed up in my model as a solid play, especially at that 50-1 price.
Yeah, he rated out, I think, one spot ahead of Aaron Rye for me in my model. So I like Aaron Rye. I like Rico as well. Absolutely love that play there. Before we move on, Underdog has you covered for pick'em for almost every sport. Underdog has just increased their payouts to pick entries. Now pay 3.5x, and 3 pick entries now pay 6.5x. Here's a pick'em entry I like. This is kind of playing it very soft for me here. Max McGreevy better 20.5 tourney finishing position. Same ordeal there for Shane Lowry and Gerard. That's going to get you 9.26x your monies. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting the best prices. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. When I was just looking at my model, when you brought up Rico there, you know who keeps popping up, obviously? Do you have any feelings on Mr. Keith Mitchell?
Yes. I was so close to putting him. So I got like my outline right here. I had him written down. I was like, you know what? I may be overloading right now. So I took him out last second. I didn't even put him in like the first out, but Keith Mitchell was absolutely populating up in my model of someone to keep an eye on.
Love it. Okay, I have two more to give out right now, and then obviously my final card will come out tomorrow morning or whenever the hell I get to it. But Kiefer, it's not just because I love his last name, because I think it's just a fun name to say, but the top 30 at plus 130, I would even like play it. Like if you want to ladder this up, totally cool with me. 4 for 4, making the cut, striking the ball is just at an elite level right now. He currently ranks first in greens and regulation, top 10 in strokes gained, approach, and off the tee. His putting has been cottage cheese, booty cheeks, like just not good, but maybe putting back in Florida, maybe we see him kind of put it together here. And I think the game everywhere else is in a good spot right now. It's a good fit. Just got to get the putting right. And he just needs to putt like somewhat average and not as bad as he's been putting. And I think he's good for a top 30 at plus 130.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. And that's kind of the fun thing about this tournament in general, is getting a lot better of a price on a majority of these golfers for top 30s, top 40s, because that's kind of going down the rest of my list too. Some of these guys who stand out. So I like Kiefer, like you said, got to give him a little bit of a edge for the last name alone. I have a similar edge that I give out for a player because he's a hometown kid from where I grew up in Arlington Heights, Illinois. And that is Mr. Doug Ghim, 83-1. Best price I saw outright. It's top 20s plus 335 for the best number. So, I mean, top 30, you're probably, I didn't know the exact price, but you probably get at least 2-1 or better. Yeah. He's 5th in strokes gained approach in my model, top 10 in ball striking, 32nd off the tee. At PGA National last year, he was tied 11th. Then in 2024, he was 16th. So after the renovations, he's done really well at this course. And you talk about first round leaders. That's kind of the same thing Doug Ghim does a lot, because my friends and I will always text each other like, oh, here goes Doug. He's going off. We're going to bet him to be first round leader. And then he kind of falters throughout the weekend. Yeah. So if you're looking for kind of a longer shot for the first round, or heck, again, even in that top 20, top 30 range, I think Doug Ghim could be someone to circle out this weekend. Absolutely.
You know who is 7th in my model, which is probably not shocking. Any thoughts on Brooks here?
I
can't do it.
I know. It's like you can't blame anyone.
I can't.
You can't blame anyone if they did it because it's Brooks Koepka, but it's like, do you really want to be the person who does it? And then if he absolutely puts up a dud and you're like, well, you know, I deserve that. So
yeah, I just can't. My last play that I'm going to give out for this episode here. Listen, he's missed 5 straight cuts. He has. But at the same time, he also has multiple top 15 finishes over his last 5 appearances here. Erik van Rooyen, top 40 at plus 200. Sure. Hand that over to me. Absolutely love it here. Maybe I'll look to play him first round too. I haven't taken a look at that quite yet. But top 40 at plus 200 is just like, for a guy, if we want to just use just course history as a reason to bet this year, it's a nice number.
I don't mind that at all. I mean, he's been great par 4 birdie or better percentage. I got him 12th in that regard, off the tee 34th. So yeah, top 42 to 1. I agree. I think that's a great price with Van Rooyen here. And again, not somebody I looked into too deeply, but yeah, I mean, he certainly puts together competitive rounds every now and again, kind of sneaks up on you. Certainly think he could do that for this venue, no question.
Love it. Any final bets that you want to give out before I let you get on your way to enjoy your Tuesday?
Yeah, curious your thoughts on these two, especially one of them. But I'm surprised at the price we're getting for Billy Horschel here.
I know he's okay. So he's on here. I didn't give it out. I agree with you very much so, and I think he will find his way onto my card.
All right, good. I'm glad we're in sync there. Yeah, I mean, even its top 30 is like 2 to 1 you can get right now. Top 20 plus 345. I saw
that's crazy.
It is. It's insane. Yeah. And he was talking about this event too, about how he doesn't like that they made it easier. So I don't know, get his names in the headlines a little bit, got a little extra spark under him. 44 rounds he's played here. 25th in 2025 is what he finished. Top 10 in 2024 post renovations. The numbers add up nicely. I think Billy Horschel at 96 to 1 is incredible value.
I love it.
And then this one's just crazy. But this is the one I'm sending out to people because if it hits, I may just never bet the sport of golf again. KH Lee, who? Yeah, good question.
Really? He was up on my face in golf. It seems weird.
500 to 1, Stephie.
Sure.
Top 40, you could get plus 450. Top 30, 6 to 1. Top 20, 10 to 1. Yeah. I got him 19th in my model rankings. It's going to be his first on the
I love it.
Tour this season. 16th in strokes gained total. Top 20 off the tee, 18th in ball striking, 24th around the green, 32nd in strokes gained approach. Tied 4th in 2024 with those easier renovations, was cut last year from this tournament. But again, anything can happen at this type of event. It's going to be boom or bust. It's either going to be a short shot or someone probably, close to that 70 to 1 or higher range. I mean, this is obviously an insane amount higher than that at 500 to 1. I know most books got to have them in that 3 to 4 to 100 to 1 range, but throw a little Pete's money on it, right?
Sure, absolutely. You were fantastic. We'll have to get you back on for another tournament here. Tell people where they can find your work, and then I'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on. It was a blast to chop it up about the links with you. At Danny Burke 5, or you can follow along on X. And like you said at the beginning, all the content can be found with the rest of the crew that's usually on here at bettingnews.com. So, yeah, appreciate it once again, and best luck with all your action.
Yes, fantastic stuff. We will be back Thursday with Man in the Box for some NFL talk. Until then, rate, review the podcast, and I'll see you guys then.
Stephie Smalls Show, sports gambling. Play some bets on winners and catastrophe. If you want to know where to put the money, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday's the place to be.